under which specific goods or property rights are transferred to the bidder who makes the highest bid in the public bidding. A lawyer who prefers to be anonymous argues that the auction for housekeepers goes against the auction law, which only allows for bidding on goods or property rights, which doesn't include people in the form of annual salaries. Wang Xiangqian is an official with the Chinese Academy of Labor Relations. He doesn't think putting housekeepers on auction violates the law.
Bidding for work rights is a vague idea to begin with, and I think the auction is rather about acquiring the right to use labor through auctions.
And Wang Xiangqian thinks, theoretically speaking, it's okay to bid on the use of labor. Although the auction appears to be bidding on human beings, it really is labor transaction. So the auction should be legally protected.
A new form of employment will come into being through auctioning, which is conducive to bringing labor's personal value into full play, especially that of the high-end talents. Moreover, since the auction involves labor relations, it should be closely watched by the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security.
In January of this year, a former soldier became one of the first people in the country to be auctioned off to another person as an employee. The winning bid for her was 180,000 yuan, or $27,000 a year for her service as a bodyguard. He Yang, a business consultant, was the only other person who was publicly auctioned off during the first such event of its kind. He Yang, who was known as King of Ideas, 点子大王, and sentenced to prison for several years due to cheating, was sold for 1 million yuan to a website creator that provides information for retired people.
That was today's Chatterbox, looking at an auction of high-end domestic helpers that's going to be taking place next month.
Yes. Interestingly, that auction house, the Beijing-based auction house, we previously sold unusual items such as lunch with soccer legend Diego Maradona for 200,000 yuan, or $30,000, and a ride with Formula One racer Michael Schumacher for 230,000 yuan, or roughly $34,000. So when I look at this auction, in a good way, it helps graduate students with finding a job. But on the downside, I think it also fosters a kind of mentality that being a housekeeper can earn a lot of money. Many people who study in university would want to study housekeeping. That's a shortcut to success.
Well, that's the thing. Most of these people aren't really being hired to be housekeepers. They're being hired to be, like personal secretaries. They're being hired to be family secretaries, something a little bit more high-end. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe they're going to be doing some of the cooking and cleaning, but that's not going to be their main responsibility.
That's true.
I mean, and if that was, well, that would be a huge waste of university education. But one of the people in Chatterbox talked about how they disliked the idea of putting human beings on auction. Well, I'm sad to say that this has been happening for a long, long time. I mean, going as far back as we can remember in terms of trade. I mean, like for the longest time, for almost all of human history, people have been traded either as slaves or as servants. But more recently, we think about auctions. We think about bachelor's auctions. We think about Sadie Hawkins auctions or something like that. A little bit more lighthearted, I think. And so the idea of auctioning off someone as an employee, I mean, shoot, if I was being auctioned, that'd be great. I'd probably make a lot of money from that. Yeah,
because you look at this as an employment, not only trading human beings. Yeah,
most
opportunity to get a job.
But also, if you think about it, I mean, usually the employee is at a disadvantage because, you're looking for a job, and so you apply to maybe 5 or 6 different companies, 5 or 6 different positions in different companies. But in this case, these people are competing against each other for your employment, right? And so it's a reverse situation. And so in this case, I mean, obviously, I think you can probably make more money.
Talking about housekeepers auction, I like to read out a message from our listener Everton. 他说，受过高等教育的女生